everyone. I'm Dr. Kabil. Today, I'm going to discuss fetal echo, few abnormal cases. So, first thing initially, when you're doing fetal echo, you need to assess the situs of the baby. After assessing the right and left side of the baby, you can see the position of the stomach and the cardiac apex side. So, in this case, the fetal stomach is towards left side and cardiac apex towards the right side. Same in this case, stomach towards left side, cardiac apex towards the right side. So this is the case of extracardia. Then in this case, as we discussed in the previous video, there is a common AV valve with absent crux and AV septum. So it's the case of a complete AVSD with flow through the common valve. So case of AVSD. Again, similar case with absent crux, atrioventricular septum, and looks like a common valve. So it's again looks like another case of atrioventricular septal defect. So this case, whenever you are assessing the fourth chamber, you have to see the proportion of the right and left ventricle. If the left ventricle is small, then there are multiple possibilities. One is hypoplastic left heart, and then coarctation of aorta, interrupted aortic arch, aortic stenosis. The hypoplastic left heart is differentiated from other conditions by few findings, like the left ventricle will be small and usually not part of the apex of the fetal heart, and there will be concentric hypertrophy of the ventricular valve with absent normal contractility of the left ventricle. So in case of coarctation, there will be normal contractility, even though the left ventricle is small in size. So you see in this case, the left ventricle is small, and there is concentric hypertrophy of the valve, with the absent normal contractility. With small left LVOT. So this case of hypoplastic left heart. So we are seeing in this case regurgitation through the tricuspid valve. Whenever there is a regurgitation in the tricuspid valve, then there is some abnormality in the tricuspid valve. You see in this picture, the tricuspid valve is more apically placed, more into the right ventricle. So there is atrialization of the right ventricle, and the functional right ventricle is small functional right ventricle with apically placed tricuspid valve with tricuspid regurgitation. So features of Epstein's anomaly. Again, in this case, there is enlarged right atrium with a more apically placed tricuspid valve with small functional right ventricle, and there can be tricuspid regurgitation. So enlarged right atrium is one of the easily appreciable sign in case of Epstein's anomaly. The case of tetralogy of Fallot, there is ventricular septal defect in the perimembranous part, and there is overriding of aorta receiving supply from both right and left ventricle. So this type of VSD is called malaligned VSD, since it is receiving supply from both ventricles. This also can be seen in truncus arteriosus. As you see in this case, the VSD, overriding of aorta, and the pulmonary artery will be smaller in size, and there is some turbulence also there due to pulmonary stenosis. Due to the overriding, aortic arch will be larger in size. Case of TOF. And if there is reversal of flow in the pulmonary artery, then there is atresia, pulmonary atresia, and sometimes there will be pulmonary valve dysplasia, where there will be enlarged pulmonary artery with turbulence. So these are three subtypes of tetralogy of Fallot. In this case, You can see the color flow in both great arteries, not crossing each other but running parallel to each other. So this is one of the classical sign of transposition of great arteries. You see this is right ventricle since there is moderator band, and left ventricle almost reaching apex, but the left ventricle is giving rise to a great vessel which is bifurcating. So it is pulmonary artery arising from the left ventricle. So that's why we are calling this as transposition of great vessel. Pulmonary artery arising from left ventricle and aorta arising from right ventricle. You can see in this case the pulmonary artery giving bifurcation. This is actually arising from the left ventricle, and the right ventricle giving rise to aortic arch. So in three vessel view, there is actually parallel portion of the greater vessel. Both pulmonary artery and aorta is seen, but in three vessel view, you may be sometimes only see aorta and HVC. So only two vessels in the actual three vessel view because of the abnormal arrangement, not absence of any great vessel. So pulmonary artery bifurcation is actually the pulmonary artery arising from left ventricle. It's the case of TGA, transposition of great artery. In the case, left ventricle giving rise to pulmonary artery, left ventricle giving rise to pulmonary artery, and previously we were seeing only aorta and HVC. So previously seen case, there is only ventricular-arterial discordance, that is pulmonary artery arising from left ventricle and aorta arising from right ventricle. There is only ventricular-arterial discordance. But if there is atrioventricular discordance associated with it, then we should call it as corrected TGA. As in this case, this is fetal stomach on left side. There is actually dextrocardia, fetal cardiac apex towards right side. But this left side of ventricle is actually having moderator band. So this is morphologically right ventricle. This is left ventricle. But if you see the atrium, the left side atrium is actually receiving the pulmonary vein. So it is normally arranged. So there is left atrium which is communicating to the right ventricle. So it is atrioventricular discordance in this case, associated with ventricular-arterial discordance. That is pulmonary artery arising from left ventricle. So both atrioventricular discordance and ventricular-arterial discordance is seen. In this case, it is diagnosed as corrected TGA with parallel coursing vessels, great arteries. Parallelly coursing great artery, pulmonary aorta is actually giving bifurcation arising from left ventricle, aorta arising from the right ventricle. In this case, there is a large vessel, single vessel, which is arising from four-chamber view, which is actually receiving supply from both right and left ventricle due to here VSD in the perimembranous region. Which in this case, there is a VSD perimembranous region and the great and a large vessel receiving supply from both right and left ventricle. So this is also a type of malaligned VSD with the truncus arteriosus, later on giving branches to aorta and pulmonary artery in this case. Large vessel, aorta and pulmonary artery branching from the truncus arteriosus later. So this is the greater vessel, truncus arteriosus, which is actually receiving supply from right and left ventricle due to the malaligned VSD lying over there. case, we have the right ventricle giving rise to both pulmonary artery and aorta. Pulmonary and aorta arising from right ventricle is double outlet right ventricle. Sometimes there will be VSD communicating both ventricles. In this case, stomach on left side, cardiac apex towards right side, dextrocardia. There is a VSD with the membranous region. And this is the right ventricle due to presence of moderator band. And if you see, the right ventricle gives rise to both great arteries. Here a smaller pulmonary artery and this is the larger aorta. Smaller pulmonary artery and aorta. So this is dextrocardia, VSD, double outlet, right ventricle. Aorta, pulmonary artery. In this case, there is disproportion of the ventricles. The left ventricular size is smaller, but it is normally contractile. So there could be left outflow tract obstruction. So we need to see the left outflow tract. In this case, the aortic arch is smaller in size. There is something called ductal isthmus ratio. If it is less than 0.6, then there is possibility of coarctation of aorta. So small left ventricle, but normally contractile. Aorta is very small. Findings of coarctation. In this color flow, you can see there is reversal of flow in the aortic arch. Blue color is aortic arch, small with reversal of flow. So usually the coarctation happens in the aortic isthmus distal to the subclavian artery origin. So in this case, in the sagittal view, you can see the narrowing of the isthmus. So it's a case of coarctation of aorta. Here there is dilated left ventricle with small aorta at the level of annulus due to the thick echogenic less mobile aortic valve, and there is post-stenotic dilatation of the aorta. So the valve should be thin and faintly visible and should be very mobile. In this case, thick echogenic and less mobile, causing the aortic stenosis. Dysplastic aortic valve causing aortic stenosis, post-stenotic dilatation, and also dilated left ventricle in this case. Three vessel tracheal view, color flow showing a abnormal vessel coursing posterior to the trachea. So this is aberrant right subclavian artery. If we turn power Doppler pulse waves, you should be able to see arterial waveform. If it is azygos, there will be venous waveform. In another case, there is right aortic arch and left ductal arch. Left ductal arch is normally placed, but right aortic arch coursing posterior to the trachea, forming a U kind of shape. Right ductal arch. Sorry, left ductal arch with right aortic arch. In this case, you can see this U-shaped structure formed by the left ductal arch and right aortic arch. If there is another vessel forcing anterior to trachea, forming like a circle, then it is double aortic arch. Here, both ductal and aortic arch is on the right side. So, right ductal and aortic arch. This is case of double aortic arch forming a vascular ring around trachea. Whenever there is regurgitation, there will be turbulence of flow seen across the valves. So, mitral and tricuspid regurgitation. Here, regurgitation across the pulmonary valve. So, there is pulmonary regurgitation. Here, if you see in this case, the pulmonary valve is again thick, echogenic, less mobile, causing stenosis and regurgitation, and there is post-stenotic dilatation of the pulmonary artery. So, in case of pulmonary stenosis, the right ventricle can be small with thick walls. So, if you are seeing this kind of finding in fourth view, you need to look at the right outward tract for obstruction. Tricuspid valve is thick, echogenic, and almost stenotic with small right ventricle. So, tricuspid atresia. So, there is an entity called heterotaxy, which includes a complex cardiac defect, and it is divided into right atrial isomerism and left atrial isomerism. Consists of multiple findings. To simplify it, in right atrial isomerism, there will be abnormal left side structures. By means like there will be anomalous pulmonary venous connection. Usually, the pulmonary veins joining the left atrium, there will be some abnormality in that, or there can be absent spleen. In case of left atrial isomerism, the right structures will be abnormal. For example, the IVC, the intrahepatic IVC is interrupted. That means absent, with the flow is diverted through the azygos vein. So there will be interrupted IVC with continuation of azygos vein, and there can be heart block, rhythm abnormalities in those cases, and there can be polysplenia. In this case, abnormal cardiac chambers and septal defects with aorta, and there is one more vessel lying over here posterior to aorta, and it is not anterior and towards right side. So it is posterior to aorta. So it is actually azygos vein. In case of interrupted IVC with continuation of azygos vein, so it is an example of left atrial isomerism with abnormal cardiac rhythm. So in this case, you can see aorta and azygos vein, and liver occupying most of the abdomen. So azygos vein, aorta. So this is in sagittal view, the aortic arch, and there is a vessel lying posterior to the aorta. It is azygos vein, dilated azygos vein. In case of interrupted IVC in left atrial isomerism. In case of right atrial isomerism, I said there can be anomalous pulmonary venous connection. One way is to look at the pulmonary veins joining into the left atrium, and another clue is there will be increased retrocardiac space with the abnormal vessels in that region. So if you are seeing such things, then you can trace that abnormal vessel, and in this case, your pulmonary vein is abnormally communicating to the infradiaphragmatic and subdiaphragmatic portal vein. So this is infracardiac type of anomalous pulmonary venous connection. This can happen in right atrial isomerism. Another suspect is hypertrophic cardiomyopathy. There can be thick echogenic heart wall, as in this case. So thank you. I tried to cover most of the abnormalities we usually see in the fetal echo. So I hope this is helpful to you all. Thank you very much.